Hello, my name is Charlie Pellissier, and I'm the Director of Content for Monarch Radio KTGY-LP FM, your community radio station in Napomo, California. If you're a frequent listener to KTGY, my voice may be familiar to you, as I'm also a member of the Monarch Old Time Radio Players. Our group's original recreations of old time radio shows are aired on KTGY on weekends and occasionally during the week. In the pre-COVID era, we would also perform 2 or 3 live shows every year as part of our annual fundraising effort for our nonprofit community radio station. While the COVID epidemic has significantly changed our way of life, our station's funding needs haven't changed. We utilize an all-volunteer support group which minimizes the station's ongoing expenses. However, broadcasting and recording equipment must be maintained and occasionally replaced, along with upgrades to necessary software. Due to this need, we have turned to the internet to bring you another old-time radio show recreation, which you will see shortly via this Zoom broadcast. After viewing our special show, if you'd like to support Napomo's only public broadcasting station, please go to our webpage at monarchradio.org and click on the donation icon. We thank you in advance for your consideration. And with that said, I know you'll enjoy our radio play, Mrs. Moonlight. So, on with the show.
It's that time again when Monarch Radio brings you back to those golden olden days before television, when radio was the main source of family entertainment in the home. Stay tuned for another one of drama or comedy episodes from way back when, as performed by the Monarch Old Time Radio Players.
In its heyday, Lux Radio was viewed as one of the most popular radio series of the air. When its production moved to Hollywood in 1936 with Cecil B. DeMille as its host, emphasis shifted from adapting Broadway plays to popular screenplays of the time. Today's radio play, Mrs. Moonlight, is an exception to that rule. The play originally opened in New York City in 1930 as a 3-act play and ran for a year in 2 consecutive Broadway theaters, starring Edith Barrett as Sarah Moonlight and Sir Guy Standing as Tom Moonlight. It aired on Lux Theater as a 1-hour radio drama in 1939 with Janet Gaynor and George Brent. It would again be aired under the Columbia Romance radio series in 1943 and as a half-hour show and as a TV play in 1947. From Napomo, California, Monarch Radio presents Mrs. Moonlight. Some 400 years ago, in a newfound land called Florida, a Spanish explorer, Ponce de Leon, gave up his life on the altar of an age-old quest, the secret of eternal youth. And I doubt if there's anyone in our listening audience who at some time or other hasn't wondered if there really was some fountain of everlasting youth. This idea has captured man's hope and imagination again and again. Today's play, Mrs. Moonlight, is the Broadway drama of a woman who finds that secret, a woman who never grows old. But what results from this, the events of our play will tell you, as the Monarch Old Time Radio Players present their adaptation of a great Broadway success, Mrs. Moonlight. Midsummer Night in England. The year is 1881, almost 60 years ago. In a tiny garden facing on the moors, a lovely young girl stands in a dress of shimmering white. Her face is lifted toward the full round moon, and her eyes are bright and shining, for tomorrow's her wedding day. But a dark cloud steals across the moon's face, and from the west, comes the deep rumble of thunder. The girl turns, hearing a step in the shadows behind her.
Edith, Edith, is that you?
Yes, whatever are you doing out here at this time of the night, Sarah?
Oh, looking at the moon and thinking how happy I am.
Oh, it's gonna rain.
Oh, only a summer shower.
I don't like it. There's a queer feeling in the air tonight.
Have you felt it too?
It'll be too bad if it rains tomorrow.
Oh, it won't. It couldn't.
You mustn't tempt Providence, Sarah.
Oh, I'm not afraid of Providence. I'm not afraid of anything tonight. I'm going to marry Tom Moonlight. And tomorrow I'll be Sarah Moonlight. Isn't it the most beautiful name?
Very beautiful.
Oh, Edith, you like Tom, don't you?
Whatever made you think I didn't?
Oh, nothing. Only sometimes when I speak of him, you seem...
Oh, nonsense. It's your imagination. Look, you better come in now.
Oh, in a little while. Tom's stopping by to say good night. But don't you wait up. My maid of honor must look her very best tomorrow, too.
My best is only a candle beside you. No one will even notice me.
Oh, Edith.
There's Edith Jones, the bride's cousin. What a pity she didn't inherit the family looks.
Edith, what is it? Aren't you happy for me?
Oh, you know I am, but perhaps I'm a little sad too. Well, I'm going in. I don't like storms. Good night, Sarah.
Good night.
Sarah,
Yes, Minnie. What is it?
I have a little something for you, Miss Sarah. Your wedding present.
Oh, Minnie, how sweet. You do love me, don't you?
I've waited on you since you were 3. People grow close with time, I suppose. Well, aren't you going to open it?
My present? I thought tomorrow.
Open it now. It's more fitting somehow.
Why?
Well, it's a strange gift, child. It's called the Darrod.
The Dreard? Why, I'm sure it must be something very wonderful and very Scotch.
Oh, it's been in my family for hundreds of years. Nobody knows where it came from first, but it's for you.
Oh, a necklace. Oh, Minnie, how lovely. But why is it called the Dreard?
I don't rightly know, but there's said to be magic in it.
Magic?
Aye, there's a legend. It's said that one wish granted to every owner, one wish that will come true.
One wish?
Sometime ye may want something badly, Miss Sarah. With all ye heart, it may be that you'll use it then.
Sarah,
Yes, Edith?
your Tom Moonlight is here.
Oh, Tom.
I got away as soon as I could, darling.
Oh, I knew you would. Look, I've had a present already from Minnie.
A necklace? Why, that's beautiful, Minnie.
And there's a legend, Tom.
Oh, no, it's not to be talked about.
Oh,
You must get to bed now, Sarah. It's growing late.
Well, I won't keep her more than 5 minutes.
5 minutes, then, or I'll come and get her myself.
oh, Tom. Tom Moonlight, you know, I'm very happy.
My darling.
So happy it frightens me. Fasten my necklace. I want to wear it.
Oh, you'll be even more beautiful. There. Well, that was close, wasn't it?
How still it is after. How unearthly it feels.
Well, perhaps the gods are standing gaping, surprised that any mortal could be so lovely.
Oh, Tom, we must always be happy as we are now. Nothing must ever change.
Well, it never will.
Oh, if I could only be sure.
You can. Our love will never change.
But we'll change. We'll grow old, Tom. You won't like me to look old.
I'll always see you just as you are now, Sarah, just as I married you.
As I am now. There, you see?
What?
Oh, Tom, if you ever stop loving me, I should die.
Stop loving you? When I die, Sarah, And not even then. Our love is forever.
Oh, it must be. It must be. It's late. Kiss me good night.
The last time I shall ever have to leave you.
The last time. Good night, my darling.
Good night.
One wish to every owner. Oh, Draird, this is my prayer, that I shall never change, that I shall never grow older. Oh, let me look, always, just as I do tonight. It's my youth he loves. Don't let me lose it. Let me keep it always for him.
Minnie, do you have to do that dusting right under my nose?
If Miss Moonlight's cousin's coming, I can't have her see dirt.
Well, then why didn't you do it this morning?
I was busy elsewhere this morning.
Well, if you're finished, then run along. Well, don't just stand there watching me. After 9 years, surely I'm nothing to stare at.
I was just thinking that a Scotsman wouldn't forget his wedding anniversary.
I did not forget it. Mrs. Moonlight's gift is being delivered any minute. And why aren't you looking after my daughter as you're supposed to do?
Do you mean Jane?
Well, who in the world do you suppose I mean?
Oh, she's with her lovely parrot, she is.
You mean Mrs. Moonlight?
Who do you suppose I mean?
Oh, Minnie, you're a disagreeable old woman. I've been seriously thinking of giving you notice.
Away with you. Consider yourself lucky to be living in the same house with us.
With us?
With Sarah, Moonlight, and me, and wee Jane.
Oh, creature, answer the bell.
It's your poor wee Gifty, I expect.
And it isn't poor, and it isn't wee.
Good afternoon, Minnie.
Oh, it's Mrs. Moonlight's cousin.
Good afternoon, Thomas.
Well, how are you, Edith?
Nicely, thank you. Where's Sarah?
Well, she's with Jane. Oh, Minnie, would you please inform Mrs. Moonlight that her cousin is here to go to the band concert with us?
Oh, she doesn't have to. How are you, Edith, dear?
Many happy returns of the day, Sarah. Here's my present.
Oh, how nice. What is it?
I'm afraid you won't like it.
Oh, I'm sure I will. Oh, a shawl. Oh, I mean, but what a lovely one.
Yes, I knew you wouldn't like it.
Oh, but I do, Edith.
No, you don't like it because you think shawls are only for old people.
Oh, how absurd.
You think too much of your age, both of you.
Do you think I do, Edith?
Well, since you asked me, yes, you dress too young. Several people have mentioned it.
Well, they're just envious. Sarah doesn't dress young. She just looks young.
Well, put it any way you like. But tell me this. Does Sarah look a day older today than she did at 21 or 20 or even 19?
Well, no. But is that a crime?
Well, I didn't say so.
Do you think so?
Well, I don't think it's a crime, but it's odd.
What do you mean by odd?
Just odd.
I see.
Oh, please. Please, Edith. Let's just forget it.
Oh, of course. It was Sarah who asked me.
Oh, look, Edith, I got a letter last night from Maud.
From your sister Maud? What does she want?
She wants to tell me she's just had a baby.
Now, why does she think you'd care? She gave up her family when she ran off with that good-for-nothing foreigner.
Answer that, Minnie. Is it a boy or a girl, Sarah?
A girl. They named her Joy.
Ironically, I presume. Do they still live in Florence?
Of course, his work is there. He's an artist.
Here it is.
Here, what is? Where did you get that box, Minnie?
Well, it's a little present from me, my dear.
Oh, Tom, what is it?
We'll open it up and see.
A dress. Oh, and it's beautiful. It's the most beautiful dress in the world. Edith, isn't it lovely?
It's a very pretty frock.
Oh, I'll be a queen in it.
What trinket will you wear?
Yes, what jewelry? My crystals, Tom?
It wants something with a touch of blue.
I don't think I have anything blue.
Well, yes, you have, dear. You know the whatchamacallit, the Drayard?
No.
Why, Sarah.
What is a Drayard?
Well, it's a necklace made of turquoise. Minnie gave it to her for a wedding present.
Then why not wear it, Sarah?
No.
But you used to like it when we were first married.
She doesn't like it now. Can't you leave the barn alone?
Oh, we'd better be leaving. I'll get my things.
What's the matter with her today? I don't understand her.
She was perfectly all right until...
Until what?
Oh, nothing. I wish you wouldn't talk about her looks, Edith. It always disturbs her.
And well, it might. She ought to do something about it.
Do? What can she do? She looks young, that's all.
Well, all I can say is it's very strange.
She seemed very disappointed this afternoon, but the Shaw, well, Edith might have known better.
Tom,
What is it, dear?
I've been meaning to tell you, you must be very, very nice to Edith.
Well, I am. Why?
You see, Edith's in love with you.
Don't be silly.
It's true. She always has been. That's why she seems bitter at times.
Well, I don't believe it. She probably respects me, but I don't think any more than most other women do.
Yes, I suppose they're all in love with you, except me.
You? Why, you adore me, Mrs. Moonlight.
I don't.
I love you.
Dear, dear Mr. Moonlight.
As much as ever.
And after 9 long years?
As much as the first time.
Do you remember the first time?
Remember? You were playing the piano.
I was playing this.
May I sit beside you, Mrs. Moonlight?
No, Tom, don't.
But I must kiss you. I can't help myself.
Mr. Moonlight, what a way for old married people to behave.
Old married people? Why, go over and look at that old married lady in the mirror.
Oh, I look my years, Tom.
You don't, of course.
Oh, Tom.
And it's my belief that you never will.
Oh, please don't say that.
Oh, Sarah, you've got to get over that silly fancy.
Oh, I can't. I'm frightened.
Heightened?
Supposing someone should be born who never really did grow any older, what would happen?
Well, she'd probably make a fortune in a freak show.
Oh, please be serious.
Oh, how can I be serious about such nonsense?
But just supposing, what do you think would happen?
Well, in olden times, she probably would have been burned as a witch.
And nowadays?
Nowadays, we have other ways of dealing with witches. Less crude, perhaps, but just as nasty. Why, Sarah, you're trembling.
Tom, once I prayed, above all things, I should never grow older, look older. I thought you'd stop loving me if I did. Now I think you'd stop if I don't.
But you will, darling. Of course you'll look older in time.
You'd rather I did?
Well, yes, I think I would. But there's quite enough miraculous about my wife without that.
Oh, it sounds foolish when I talk about it to you, but not when I'm alone. Sometimes I feel I'm going mad and can't stand it any longer. You see, it's growing stronger, not weaker, every year for years, ever since we've been married.
Sarah,
Darling, oh, do you think I'm just fanciful?
that's all.
And you'll always believe, whatever happens, that I love you, won't you?
Yes, dear, but nothing can happen. In fact, I promise you that in the morning you'll look 102. Now, come, darling. I think it's time you went to bed.
In a little while. I'm not at all sleepy.
You'll come up soon?
Yes, soon.
Well, then kiss me goodnight.
Good night, my darling. And remember, I love you, Mr. Moonlight, very, very much.
Who's there? Who is it?
It's I, Minnie.
What are you doing with those bags? Where are you going at this time of night?
Minnie, I'm never going to look any older.
Oh, what fool's talk is this?
Your necklace, the dreared, and the legend.
I know of no legend.
I wished, Minnie, it was the night before I was married. I wished that I would never look any older. That legend, Minnie, it was true.
No.
Can you look at me now and say that?
Oh, Miss Sarah.
I suppose it was wicked of me to wish, vain and unnatural. Now I'm kind of a freak, a witch. We have new methods of burning witches. We burn their dear ones too, Minnie.
What is it? What are you going to do?
I'm going away, out of their lives, Tom's and Jane's.
What foolishness is this?
Tom growing old beside me, and Jane, a young lady with a mother who didn't change. Oh, I couldn't stand it, nor could they.
You'll break their hearts.
I'll break them if I'd stay.
Where will you go?
To Maud in Florence.
How Moonlight will find ye.
He mustn't know, and you must never tell. He must think me dead. Promise?
Oh, poor Tom Moonlight.
Promise?
I promise, if that's the way it must be.
Thank you. Goodbye, Minnie.
Goodbye, Sarah Moonlight.
You'll take care of them, won't you? Tom and little Jane, take good care of them for me.
" 17 years have passed since the night Sarah Moonlight fled from her family because she knew she could never grow old. Unable to find a trace of her, Tom Moonlight has picked up the broken threads of his life. He's been married for many years to Sarah's cousin Edith and is enjoying a middle-aged happiness. Jane, the young daughter Sarah left behind her, is now a woman, old enough for marriage. One of her suitors, Percy Middling, has come to call. In the living room of the Moonlight home, he leans toward her, a desperate look in his eyes.
You're not listening, Jane.
Of course I'm listening, but can't you tell me some other time, Percy?
I'd rather tell you now, Jane.
But we're expecting a guest. Minnie's gone to the station to meet her.
Yes, I know, but...
It's a brand new cousin.
You mean a baby?
No, silly. She's only a year or two younger than I. They've lived in Italy for years. I've never even seen her.
Jane, I'm sorry to interrupt, but if you have a guest coming, I must say what I have to say quickly. Now, as to my present occupation, engineering is a quite respectable occupation, and the firm is well established and an old one. Furthermore, my father would be regarded by many people as being, so to speak, in a very comfortable position.
Percy, are you proposing to me?
Well, yes, I was coming to that in a moment.
May I advise you, Percy, the next time you want a girl to marry, just say, Jane, I love you. Unless, of course, her name is Mary.
You mean it's no good then?
I'm afraid not, Percy. You see, I don't love you.
Oh.
I'm very sorry, Percy.
Jane, there isn't any other, I mean, you're not in love with someone else, are you?
I don't know.
But you must have some idea. I mean, well...
Willie Ragg is coming over a little later.
Willie Ragg? Oh, I see.
Guess that's your guest, Minnie. The only one getting off. Nice looking young woman, too.
Yes, that's her. Please, Sarah, Miss Sarah.
How are you, Minnie?
Sarah Moonlight, let me look at you. Come into
Oh.
the light.
No, I haven't changed, if that's what you mean.
Oh, still young, still a girl.
Only in looks, Minnie, not in my heart.
Oh, me poor darling.
Was I right to come? I had to see them again, Tom and Jane, but they won't know me. You promised.
Oh, they'll think that you're Maud's daughter, Joy, who resembles her aunt, Sarah Moonlight. To them, Sarah Moonlight has been dead for 17 years.
And ghosts don't often come back, do they?
No, the carriage is over here.
How is he, Minnie?
Tom Moonlight? Oh, he's well, happy enough, I dare say.
Edith makes him a good wife, doesn't she?
Yes.
Yes, she was always in love with him.
Tell me about yourself. Where do you live?
In Vienna now. I was 7 years in Florence, then 8 in Paris. People begin to wonder after a few years, so I have to keep moving.
You have enough money?
Money enough for me. My music helps, pupils and concerts, and it's good for me. There's no time to feel sorry or to think of him and Jane. Minnie, what is she like, my Jane?
Like you, mostly.
I suppose she'll be marrying soon.
Very likely. There are 2 young men.
Very nice young men, I hope.
Perry Middling is. And Willie Rags, well, him you can judge for yourself. He'll be at the house most likely.
You're late, Willie, the 3rd time this week.
Play it again. Willie left his little Jane, but Willie soon came back again. Made up on the way. Jane, you haven't kissed me yet.
You haven't asked me.
Please, Miss Moonlight, may I kiss you?
Yes, you may, twice.
Once. Twice.
Where have you been?
I've been to Newmarket.
Oh, have you got the job?
No, but I probably shall, or something else.
Oh, Willie.
Now, there's nothing to worry about.
Oh, but there is. You know how Father feels. He says you're irresponsible.
Irresponsible? It's blasphemous. Oh, I say, he can't hear me, can he?
No.
Good. If he won't give me his consent, I'll marry you without it.
Oh, Willie, please be serious.
But I am.
Oh, we thought you were alone, Jane.
Come in, Father. Come in, Mother.
How are you, Mr. Rag?
Very well, ma'am. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Has Minnie returned yet, Jane?
No, Father.
Well, I think I'll meet her on the road.
Oh, please, sir, if I might have a word with you, sir.
A word with me?
I think you know what it's about.
I have an inkling.
I'm going to marry your daughter, sir.
Oh, yes?
Oh, Father. Willie doesn't mean it quite like that.
Mr. Rag is a bit blunt.
I believe in speaking out, sir.
A fine quality, and I believe in it too. I also believe, young man, that at the present time you have no position or any prospects of one. Under those conditions, I don't quite see how you can speak of marriage.
I regret your disapproval, sir. I must tell you, I won't let it stand in my way.
Really?
Willie, don't say any more. Father, you don't understand.
Well, evidently not.
Tom, wait, Minnie is here.
I'll speak to you later, Mr. Rag. Well, why didn't she come in? Minnie?
Your visitor is here, Mr. Moonlight. Come in, Miss Joy.
Good evening.
Why, she's the image of...
Tom, don't. How are you, my dear?
I'm very well, thank you.
I am your Aunt Edith, and this is...
This is Mr. Moonlight.
Yes, we're very happy to see you, Joy.
Thank you.
This is my stepdaughter, Jane.
I've been looking forward to your coming.
Jane.
Why? What's the matter, dear?
Well, Mother, she's so pale.
Well, she's tired out. She's had a long journey.
Yes, yes. A very long journey.
Sarah,
Yes,
it's almost time for your train, Sarah.
I know, Minnie.
The days have passed quickly, Sarah.
Too quickly. Oh, there's so much I wanted to do. Now it's all slipped away from me. Oh, Minnie, she must be happy. My Jane must be happy. If I knew she was going to be, I could leave in peace.
You're talking of Willie Rag now.
Yes. Why can't she see, Minnie? Why doesn't she know? And why am I so powerless to help her? I'm her mother, Minnie, and I can't lift my hand.
A half an hour past 9. You best be making ready. The night train is always on time.
Oh, the night train. I left once before at night, long ago.
Hush, my darling. You'll come again.
After another 20 years? Oh, what's the use, Minnie?
If only to see us all.
To see you all growing old without me, to feel left behind.
Oh, Sarah, my darling.
Joy, may I see you?
Jane, of course. Come in.
It's rather private, Minnie. Will you leave us alone?
Very well.
What is it, Jane?
Well, it's about Willie. I want you to talk to Father. Let him know what you think of him.
But what I think of Willie is really very much what your father thinks of him.
Joy, but can't you see what Willie is?
Yes, I've been worried that you can't.
Oh, really, Joy? I thought you at least would be on my side.
Oh, my dear, I am on your side.
Well, that's what Mother says, but middle-aged people have forgotten what love is.
Not always, Jane. Are you very disappointed in me?
No, but I thought you'd understand, that's all.
Jane, will I see you before I go?
Of course. Why do you ask?
Well, it's a late train. I thought you might be tired.
No, I'll wait up to see you go.
Oh, thank you, Jane.
Hello, Jane. Is that you?
No.
Oh, Miss Joy.
Do you want her, Mr. Rad? I'll call her down.
No. Not yet. Come down yourself. Oh, this is a bit of luck. Finding you alone, I mean.
I'm afraid I'm rather busy.
Oh, I say, I've been waiting 3 weeks for a chance to talk to you. You mustn't dodge me now. Not on your last night. Do you know, Joy? Do you know that you're a very beautiful creature?
Do you really think so?
Oh, now, don't be modest. But now, Jane, I might go clear over my head.
Oh, thank you.
May I sit beside you?
Certainly. Why?
Well, why does a fellow ever want to sit beside a pretty woman? Usually because he wants to kiss her. That's why.
Why did you do that?
I don't know. I've been wanting to do that ever since I first saw you. Are you angry?
I'm not sure yet. Have you forgotten Jane?
Of course not. I adore Jane. But,
But what?
well, hang it all. I'm not married yet, you know. If you are angry about my kissing you, I can only say, I'm sorry.
I didn't say I was angry. I may not be angry at all.
You know, Joy, you're a strange girl.
Yes, I am.
You're not like any of the other girls I've known. You're different. I want to see you again, Joy. You must let me.
I'm going to Paris.
I'll follow you. Where will you be? What address? Please tell me.
Numero 422,
And the rest?
Rue d'Erge.
Rue d'Ers.
Hadn't you better write it down?
Do you think I could forget it? Joy, listen, I can't leave tonight, but I'll follow you. Look for me.
Would it be rude if I asked to come in?
Jane, I didn't hear you.
Perhaps I walked too softly. Believe me, I didn't mean it.
I'm just telling Joy goodbye.
Was that it?
Of course. Well, I really must be running. Goodbye, Joy. And goodbye, Jane, darling. See you tomorrow. Night.
Jane? Jane, dear?
Don't come near me. Don't touch me. You're vile.
Jane, don't say that.
You are. You're vile. You're unclean. I heard you. I heard everything you said. Now go on. Go to Paris. Wait for him there. He'll make you very happy, I'm sure.
But at least he hasn't a chance to make you unhappy. You see now?
Don't speak to me. I hate you. I hate you.
Jane,
Father, make her go. Make her leave. Get her away from here.
Jane, what is it?
I can't bear the sight of her, I tell you.
Are you mad?
She wanted Willie. Well, she may have him. And you needn't worry any longer about me, Father. I'll marry Percy, just as you wanted. I'll marry Percy Middling and be miserable all my life. Now, are you satisfied?
Joy, I'm sorry for this. I'm sure she's just upset, that's all.
Oh, please don't be polite. Well, I'd better leave. I'll miss my train. Are you disappointed in me?
Well, I don't even know the facts.
Jane told you. I've stolen her young man, but I didn't want him. I'd rather have Jane's love than anything in the world.
Well, then why would you do it?
You were against the marriage.
Certainly I was. I knew they'd never be happy.
So did I.
Did you? And this talk about Paris?
He wanted to follow me. I gave him the wrong address, a made-up one. I only wanted Jane to see what he was really like.
Why, you funny child.
When Jane is over this, will you tell her what I told you?
Well, of course I will.
Promise?
I promise.
Oh, Mr. Moonlight, are you happy?
Well, yes, of course. Why?
I knew you were, really. I just wanted to hear you say it.
What a strange girl you are, Joy.
You're the second person who said that tonight. Oh, there's my carriage. I don't want to go back. I don't want to go yet.
Well, you can stay if you want to.
No, I can't. Goodbye, Mr. Moonlight.
Goodbye. I'm going to miss you very much, Joy. You're very much like someone I once knew, someone I loved.
Oh, dear Mr. Moonlight, will you kiss me goodbye?
Goodbye, dear. Come again soon, won't you?
Soon? Perhaps. Perhaps.
Years have passed. It's the present day, and many changes have come to the Moonlights. Edith is dead. Jane and Percy Middling, married for 20 years, live on with old Tom Moonlight. Meanwhile, in the cities of Europe, a strange figure moves silently, always alone, always young, never changing in a changing world. In a music school in Bucharest, this strange girl, known only as Miss Sarah, faces the master in his room.
Miss Sarah, how long have you been with us now?
12 years.
12 years, yeah. I had not realized it was that long. Miss Sarah, what I have to say is not easy. But some of the other teachers, they feel...
Oh, they feel there's something strange about me.
Yeah, of course. I know that it is ridiculous, but...
Oh, don't say anymore. I'll leave in the morning.
Oh, no, Miss Sarah, you...
It's happened before. It'll happen again.
What is it about you? What is it? Where will you go, Miss Sarah?
Oh, I don't know. To Paris, Berlin, Naples.
'Tis not easy to find work in strange cities.
Oh, they're not strange to me.
And you want work here, Miss Sarah? Miss Sarah, have I seen you somewhere?
I don't remember.
It's a long time ago.
I don't remember.
I'm sorry, but I have nothing for you. Good day, Senora.
The concert season in Paris is well booked, mademoiselle. If you'll leave your name.
I am called Miss Sarah.
Miss? Of course I remember you. You played here in 1904. But that is impossible.
Yes, you've mistaken me for someone else, mademoiselle.
But you say you are...
No. Good day, mademoiselle.
And you want to teach my daughter?
Yes, I can give your daughter lessons every day.
Just as you gave them to me.
What?
You gave me lessons too.
No.
You did, when I was a girl.
Oh, no, you...
I remember. Miss Sarah.
No.
And the ticket was to Vienna, Fräulein?
Yes, to Vienna. No, I want to go to England, to London.
Ja, Fräulein, first class?
No, third, please.
Third class to London. Here we go.
See you tomorrow, Peter.
Right you are. Thanks for the lift.
It was a pleasure. I say, Peter, is that someone waiting for you?
Where?
That woman, by your steps, looking at your house.
I don't know who she is, but I've noticed her hanging around the house several times the last few days.
Well, why don't you ask her what she wants?
I believe I will. Goodbye, Greg.
Bye.
I beg your pardon. Are you looking for someone?
No, not exactly.
You look ill. Would you like to come in for a moment? This is my house.
Your house? What is your Christian name?
Why, Peter.
Peter Middling. Your father is Percy Middling, and your mother is Jane.
How did you know that?
And your grandfather, is he dead?
No, he's not dead.
Oh.
Oh, here. Wait a moment here. Don't go away. You're cold and ill. Come inside and get warm.
Oh, no, I mustn't.
Nonsense. A hot drink will do you good. Come along now. Will you wait here a moment, please?
Thank you.
Mother?
Peter, come in.
I say, Mother, I brought a woman into the house.
Peter.
Oh, no. Listen, I think she's ill. She looks it.
Who is the woman?
I haven't the faintest idea, Father, but she knew my name and seemed to know all about me.
You knew your name?
Oh, hello, Minnie. Why, yes, she did.
Who do you suppose it is, Minnie?
I don't know. How could I? I'll go and have a look at her.
I suppose she's very beautiful, Peter?
No, she's rather ragged and young, like a girl, but her eyes are too big and, well, there's something strange about her.
Come in, please.
Oh, thank you. Good evening.
How do you do? Come and sit down by the fire.
Are you Peter's mother?
Yes, I am.
Oh, yes, I thought you were. You're very lovely.
Would you like something hot to drink?
Oh, and that is Percy Middling.
How do you know that?
You mustn't ask me questions.
Please, sit down.
Thank you. Oh, I am all right, really. It's just that lately I've had a kind of pain here in my heart. Peter, come and sit near me. You've got to tell me all about yourself. Are you at Oxford or Cambridge?
at Oxford.
Like your grandfather.
How did you know that? Who are you?
Oh, poor puzzled Jane. I'm just an old lady, my dear, who's rather come down in the world.
Old? Huh. Well, you're a girl.
Oh, that picture on the table it's Tom Moonlight, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Was it just taken, this picture?
That? Oh, that was taken a good 10 years ago.
Oh, may I see him?
Oh, I'm afraid not. He's very feeble.
His memory's gone and he really doesn't recognize people.
He hasn't recognized any of us for months.
Oh, poor Mr. Moonlight.
He hasn't really been the same since my grandmother died.
Your grandmother? You mean Edith?
Yes. Oh, I say, if you're an old friend of grandfather's, perhaps you could come tomorrow and see him.
She can't see him now.
Minnie, you brought him down?
Father.
Tom Moonlight.
Who's that over there?
Father?
He doesn't know you, Mother. He's staring at her.
Ah, my dear, I've been asleep.
Yes, Tom.
Has Edith gone?
Edith? Yes, dear, she's gone.
Well, that's good. I'm worried about Edith. Worried about what you told me this evening. I've been thinking it over, and I believe you're right. Edith is in love with me.
Of course she is, darling. We all are.
Ah, including you, huh? A little while ago, it was all except you.
Was it, Mr. Moonlight? Perhaps I've grown older since then.
Have you indeed? Well, I'll tell you a secret. I never believed you. You love me very much indeed.
Clever, Mr. Moonlight.
Grandfather, who is she?
Who is she? Well, that's my wife, young man. Who are you?
I'm Peter.
Well, I don't know you, sir. I don't much want to.
Grandfather, what is your wife called?
She's called Sarah, of course. Sarah Moonlight.
Percy, he thinks it's his first wife.
Why? What are they saying? Don't they like my Sarah?
Of course they do. Especially me. I think she's lovely.
And she is too. And what's more, she doesn't change. Did you know that? She just doesn't change. Now, what's that about changing? She's worried about that. I don't like that. I've forgotten it.
Tom, shall I play for you again?
Huh? Well, yes.
You've always liked this.
May I sit beside you, Mrs. Moonlight? I'm a very lucky man, Mrs. Moonlight, and a very, very happy man.
Oh, yes, dear.
And you're a very happy woman, Mrs. Moonlight.
Very happy. I think I've never been so happy in my life as I am now.
And I'm certain of this, Mrs. Moonlight. I could never be happy with any woman but you.
That's what you think, Mr. Moonlight.
Well, it's what I know. Sarah, I think I'll go to bed now. I'm feeling tired, sleepy.
Yes, dear.
I'll take him upstairs.
So tired. Sarah, so very, very tired.
Father.
Peter, get some brandy.
Oh, my darling, my darling.
Percy, you and Perry get him upstairs.
No, stay here, all of you. He'll want to be with her, I know. Come along, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Minnie.
She's been up there with him a long time.
Over half an hour.
Percy, I'm nervous.
Well, it's all right, my dear.
There's nothing to be nervous about, Mother.
Why does he think he knows her?
Well, after all, my dear, your father hasn't known anyone for months. And it's just as reasonable that he might think he knows this girl.
No, there's something else, but I won't say it. I'm afraid.
Wait, here's Minnie.
Minnie, how is father?
Your father is dead.
Oh, Minnie. Oh, Minnie.
She was with him. He was in her arms.
Minnie, who is that girl?
She's someone Mr. Moonlight knew a long time ago.
Minnie?
Come in, dear.
Peter, get her a chair.
Oh, I'm quite all right. All right, thank you. I'm not unhappy. It was really very, very beautiful. It would be wicked to be unhappy. I am only very tired. I wondered why I'm so tired.
Please, sit down. You'll feel better in a minute.
Thank you, Peter. He just said to me, I love you, Mrs. Moonlight. Very, very dearly. He just said that. He looks so happy, too. Jane?
Yes?
Give me your hand. I'm so pleased with you, Jane. I've always liked your nice Percy Middling, and you've done very well together, haven't you? A nice boy, a nice home. Oh, I'm so tired. I love you, Mrs. Moonlight, very, very dearly. Jane, do I look happy?
Very happy. Are you?
Oh, so happy. It's funny to be so tired here in my heart. Perhaps. Oh, how lovely. Now, Lord, lettest thou, thy servant, depart in peace. For mine eyes have seen, my eyes have seen.
Mother, look at her. She's
at peace with Tom Moonlight.
Mother?
It's all right, Peter. I'm sure she's happy. See how she's smiling?
Featured in today's cast were yours truly, Bob Cuddy as the announcer, Linda Sardi as Sarah, Bill Steves as Tom, Karen Steves as Edith, Jan Schmidt as Minnie, Maureen Wishner as Jane, Charles Davis as Percy Middling, George Hoover as Peter, Judy Richards as the station master and Frau Muller, Bob Jepson as Willie Ragg and Bonetti, Mike Stevens as Heinrich, Howard Wishner as Greg, and Jane Utsumi as Frenchie and the ticket agent. This performance was directed by Howard Wishner, who also provided sound effects during the performance, using sound effects from freesfx.co.uk, as well as portions from the original broadcast. Casting and script selection were provided by Maureen Wishner. This episode was recorded and video edited by Judy Katz and will be available to be seen on YouTube along with other old-time radio shows performed by the Monarch old-time radio players. To view these shows, search under YouTube for Monarch Old-Time Radio. If you enjoy these shows, please subscribe so that you can view future recreations of old-time radio.